Well, if you haven't had to do it yet this year, chances are pretty soon you're going to be kicking on the furnace.
That's right. So today we've got a new expert to introduce to you. It's the Michigan Building and Mechanical, and this is Glenn Vermeulen. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Okay, we want to say thank you so much for being our expert. We were just chatting because I know a lot of people with the weather change over the weekend were kicking on their furnaces for the first time, and you look like maybe you haven't had a whole lot of sleep.
It was a busy weekend. It's just like people just start. I don't know why they wait till the last minute, but it seems like they do, or they thought it was okay, or they did try it and it turns around and doesn't work. But
it doesn't
anyway,
work, yeah.
It was a busy weekend.
So tell us about what you do, because you are all around heating and cooling.
Heating and air conditioning, that's correct. We do refrigeration work besides that. But our business is located in Clyde Park in Wyoming, and we service residential, commercial, and we have a few industrial accounts also. Heating, air conditioning, both. And then installations and service side of that also. And we've been in business 1887. So,
yeah, wow.
So we've been around a while, and we're pretty good at what we do.
Wow. Well, as the cold is setting in, what do people need to really start looking for when thinking about a furnace?
One of the if depending on whether they're going to actually change their furnace or just want to get what they have tuned up, one of the biggest things that we run into, one of the biggest failures all year long, is usually filters. Filters get plugged. The air movement through the furnace isn't great enough to keep the heat exchanger to a temperature where the limit switch will trip. And then that does that so many times, and then those usually will go out. And once that happens, then you're done.
So tell us, you brought some filters here, because people may not realize, Jordan's a brand new homeowner. Did you know that you have filters in your furnace that need to be changed?
She knows the answer to this. I'm learning so much.
So tell us about what we're seeing here in front of us.
The one on that's not the white one, I guess, is what you're looking at there. That's one that we pulled. That's just is literally plug solid. We actually took that out of a house that we serviced, and they had a failure, and it happened to be an air conditioning failure actually, but they had a failure because of that furnace being plugged. They couldn't move enough air through the furnace to keep the air conditioning coil from just freezing. So
you can cause serious damage to your mechanical by not even doing the simple.
By not doing the simple things. The filters are so important. On the heat side, you lose the heat exchanger. You can crack the heat exchanger by the heat exchanger getting so hot. And on the air conditioning side, if you get that air conditioning coil iced, one thing, you get water damage because a lot of times it'll flow on the floor. And the other thing that happens is the tubing on the air conditioning coil itself, the copper tubing, it cracks when you get that big ice pressure against that. It'll break the tubing, and then now you got a refrigerant leak, and then you replace the coil, and there goes $1,000, and so that's how that works. So. So air filters, I can't stress enough that you get air filters, and the air filters that I like to have people use. Some of the ones that are pleated. This happens to be a pleated one, what's called a pleated one. These are good. The pleated area gives you more surface area for the air to go through rather than just a flat air filter. But some of the pleateds, you want to look for the ones that have the wider air space in between. Some of them are bunched up really tight, and those filters are a little bit more air restrictive than what either the pleated or that poly filter that I have there.
Tell us about the recommendation to getting, what should we be doing every year? Do we need to have an inspection and a clean?
Every year we recommend that you have it inspected, especially the older ones that as they get older, that metal has been hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold, and after a while they will crack. And the older ones are more susceptible to that because they've been in service longer. So the inspections we do, a lot of times we'll do or when we do our inspection, we do the heat exchanger test where we test for carbon monoxide, and we test to make sure that none of that's leaking into the house.
Critically important.
Critically important. That's a killer. And then also we clean filters, change filters, check the burners, make sure the burners are burning properly, because as they take in air that's in the basement or in the outside, they get dusty and they plug, and then they're not burning right. So if you thought you had a 99 or 98% efficient furnace, that might have knocked it down to 75 because just because the tubes or the burners aren't burning properly.
So you've got money going out the going right outside. Okay, so you have a great special to introduce your company to our 8 West viewers, and that is the Furnace Performance Tune-Up. If you call today, you can get that at $99, and the phone number is 616-724-2550, but you also have a rebate that goes along with that.
There is a rebate. If you're with one of the 3 companies or utilities that are given the rebate, there's a $50 rebate on that $99 charge that you can apply for. We do all the paperwork for you. We do the inspection, and then we do all the paperwork and turn it in, and then you get money back from the utility for
fantastic
for that,
for being very efficient. So thank you so much, and your office staff will help everybody sort that out.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
We'll be right back.